So you've been putting a lot of time into StarCraft 2, obviously for a while, but from what I understand, more so like full time over the past year or so. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's correct.
Okay.
So no, go ahead.
Oh, so do you feel like you've made like really significant improvements in your play during that year?
I would say so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say so. I feel like I also got smarter about it. I like obviously I'm not even I'm turning 23, but like I feel like 3 years ago I would have in my head I would have been like, oh, I just need to play a lot of games, and then I feel like in the last year or so, I feel because I got a little bit older, I thought about it a little bit differently, and I was like, okay, I don't have to play nearly as much, but maybe I can do something else, like watch more games, watch my own replays and stuff like that. So I feel like even though I went full time in the last year, or yeah, starting last year, I feel like that wasn't necessarily the whole reason why I improved. I feel like a part of the reason why I improved was because I got smarter about what I needed to improve in and like how I was going to do it, kind of thing. But yeah,
No, that totally makes sense, and I feel like that's been there's been a bit of a paradigm shift, right, over the last like maybe like 5 to 8 years in StarCraft, but also like in the esports world at large, right? Because for so many years there was the Korean mentality of 12 hours a day, every day. That's a minimum, and that's how you get good. And of course, you do get good like that, but it's just not efficient.
yeah, it's not honestly between like the mental stuff and then like your physical stuff, your hands and your wrists, your shoulders and stuff like that. Yeah, it's actually just terrible for you in every way.
For sure.
And if I could go back and like redo it, I definitely wouldn't do that stuff because I definitely had that mentality. And it's kind of hard because I feel like within the community, especially if you read forums and stuff like that, there's always a lot of people who talk about when it comes to improvement as in like as like, oh, you have to play, Koreans are playing 10, 12 hours a day, the foreigners who got as good as the Koreans are playing 10, 12 hours a day. And while that might be true for some people, I feel like that's not necessarily that doesn't capture the whole story. Um, and so I had to figure that one out on my own apparently. And I'm somebody who actually like takes a lot of time to learn things, and like you could tell me it, and then I'd probably listen to you, but then I would still want to experience it for myself. So then I would do it, and then I realized, wow, they were right. That's not how you're supposed to do it, or like maybe this isn't the right way to do it. But you would have told me anyway. But I was like, I still need to experience it for myself, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but yeah, within the last year, it's been super sick. Obviously, I've had more time because I finished school, so I decided to give it a crack, and it's been going great. Can't complain at all. Don't regret it for sure.
What led you to start investing more time into StarCraft at a time when the scene is sort of like in a weird place?
For me, it's like my own personal thing. Like, I guess that's obvious, but like, I wanted to do this for myself in the sense of like, I just wanted to try it out for a year and see what could happen. Like, what could I do, kind of thing. It is a little bit tough because I think, obviously, like you said, the game's kind of in a weird place, and one of the big things to do with that is like a money thing. I think like going pro in the game right now is really hard. Not that there's not any tournaments or something like that to play in, but it's like I feel like you're taking a risk depending on your situation. I can tell you right now, like thankfully I didn't graduate with any debt, so I don't have like fuck I need to get a job and like do all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just kind of like give it a shot. I got nothing to worry about. Um, so yeah, because of that, because of like the lower price pools and the tournaments, and maybe not a whole lot of options in terms of teams, you definitely have to diversify and what you're doing in the game. So that's why you see a lot of people getting into YouTube, people doing coaching and stuff like that, even as pros. I think before you didn't have to do that necessarily, but I think now if you want to kind of maintain the lifestyle or just, you know, do what you love, you have to kind of like diversify in that regard. So I've had to do a bit of that. And that's just a part of like, I don't know, the scenario or the situation we're in right now.
That sort of leads me to like my next question, right? It seems like coaching has been a pretty significant thing for you during this sort of full time period. Does it do a lot to help support you?
Yeah, yeah, it does a lot. It's actually funny you asked me this too because I just recently did like a little study. I'm trying to get into data analytics when I finish playing StarCraft. And so I wanted to do like a little thing with my Twitch data and the money I'm making since I'm making money from different things. Um, Coaching is definitely a big part of it. I would say maybe like 20%. of the money I make or 30% of the money I make, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a really big amount. Of course, I like doing it, so that's why I do it. A lot of people don't like doing it, or it's not really their thing. So at that point, it's kind of tough. But it's nice that I also like doing it, and it makes me a good bit of money. It's also a way to get yourself out there. People find out about your stream through coaching or like YouTube videos and stuff like that. Um, but I mean, it's a good excuse to talk about StarCraft. So I'm not complaining. I can't tell you that I haven't had bad experiences coaching certain people. So it's not always like a positive experience, I guess. But yeah, it's helped me a lot, and it's something that like I said, I like doing it, but it's also something I needed to do because it's just like I said, if I want to be a pro gamer, I need to like make some money from other stuff, and it just happens to be the case for that too.
Yeah, no, it's hard to make a living, man. Would you say there's a specific like skill floor that somebody needs to be at before coaching really helps them?
Honestly, no. You hear a lot of people say, "Oh, why would you get coaching if you're like silver or gold or something like that?" And I think that's like a bad way of looking at it. I think it's just a matter of what kind of coaching you get. Somebody who's silver, it's gonna need more mechanical stuff. Sometimes people need help setting up the fundamentals and having that explained to them. Dude, I wish I had that because nobody did that for me. So I had like so many bad habits when I was in Masters League because of like all the stuff I didn't do correct before. Um, so I just think it depends on what you're trying to get out of the coaching. And I would say that there's no skill like floor that you need to be in. I've coached silver people. I've coached people who are like basically in Grandmaster 4.9, 5K kind of thing. So everyone benefits to a certain degree. I do think you do have to kind of what's the word like I don't want to say vouch for yourself, but like look out for yourself in the sense of like that you're also trying to get the things that you want out of coaching too. It's like a two-way street. Like if you don't tell me what you're also interested in, is kind of be kind of hard because I'll just assume that you're interested in learning certain things. But then what if you're looking for something else? I don't know if that makes sense, but
Oh, it does.
so yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, it's fun. Nevertheless, it's fun, and yeah, anybody can get coaching. Don't let those people on Reddit tell you you can't.
So by the sounds of it, StarCraft has been like totally full time for you during the last
Yeah,
year or so.
yeah, it has been.
Nice.
Yeah.
How would you compare yourself to other like NA pros like the Special, Scarlet, Estrella, Trigger?
I guess apart from Trigger, I feel like they're all more experienced